Morning here, Saturday morning, and I'm in a car show, and I just thought I'd take the opportunity to do a broadcast because I think when I do my usual broadcasts and I'm creating a livery or I'm in a race or something like that, I talk about concepts to do with livery designs and talk about comparing liveries to other cars. And so I thought if I jumped and did a broadcast while I'm in a car show, I could perhaps talk about some things as I see them on other cars. So here I am. I don't know how long this broadcast will go for. I don't know how long I'll keep your attention for, but wherever you are, by the way, I hope you're staying COVID safe, and I hope the world is treating you kindly. The next category is Ferrari. Now, I've got lots of Ferraris. It's fair to say I've got lots of most of the brands, but some I have more than others. And I haven't really done anything that new in Ferraris for a while now. Well, I mean, that's new, that's relatively new, but I haven't done any modern Ferraris for a while. I might take out a car I haven't actually shared, which is this Mentos one. And I've got to do that. For those of you who are not aware, the Polyphonic guys announced 2 days ago that they will be transferring liveries from gtsport across to GT7, which comes out, I think, in the 4th of March. But the cut-off date for liveries to be transferred is the 15th of February. Well, that's when they start. And you have to have shared all your liveries with everyone, so full public sharing. I still have a huge amount of liveries that I haven't shared because a lot of the first probably 200 to 400 liveries I made, I didn't share them. I only started sharing after I got to something like livery 400 and something. And so I've been going through my catalogue or library today, and starting to get it cleaned up, but I'm going to be quite busy for the next 2 days doing that. Anyway, so I might go for a drive. It might upset the judge. I think it's Blue Moon, so I think you'll forgive me. And have a look. And as I said, this isn't actually finished, this livery, hence you can see on the roof and on the engine cover, it's not yet complete. But I want to go for a drive and just make a couple of comments on the other liveries that are here. And what you're going to see is you're going to see a range of liveries, which is really a reflection of where the people are at if they're creating their own liveries. I'm sure there are some people in here that are using downloads. That one there I'm pretty sure is a download because that fellow there hasn't done many liveries, so I'm pretty sure that's not his. Anyway, and then you see that's the exact same livery that guy has on a McLaren, so he's basically just copying the same style. Nothing wrong with that, but once it's on one car and you see it again, it's kind of like, okay. That's an interesting design. Plain paint. Just to comment on plain paint for those of you out there. Car shows were really designed for livery creators to show off their liveries. I like Plunks's car. He always does nice liveries. I like that iteration of the LaFerrari. Whilst they might look nice and clean, it's kind of outside of the goal of a car show because there are probably 3 key points I'll make about this. The first one is when you bring out a clean paint car like that, it's effectively, and I've got second place, so thank you, it's effectively the same thing that any one of us in this room, so what are there's 11 of us I think, all 11 of us could come out in that Ferrari F40 or 348, that's 355, 458 I should say, Group 4 that's over there, plain red with gold rims. Take me 30 seconds to jump into the livery editor tool and choose a different paint colour. So that's the first thing, and so therefore because we can do it ourselves, it's kind of self-defeating to come into a car show and show us something that we could easily make ourselves. So the whole purpose of a car show is for people to show off what is unique about the livery they have designed. So that's the point. And then the second point to that is, well, what if we did all come out in a red Group 4 Ferrari with gold rims? What would the judge do? How does he pick who comes first and who comes second? And you'd be surprised how many times we do get people coming out in the same standard clean paint or brand central livery, you know, 2 of them or even 3 of them in the lineup, and it's like, well, you know, how can we choose one over the other? The answer is you can't. Yeah. So there's some key points that I wanted to make. So I got second then. I haven't said thank you because I'm busy chatting. Next category is Nissan GTR. Oh, I could bring out my new R35, which is my new, funny enough, my new YouTube GTR. And I haven't done a proper YouTube, what I'd call a proper YouTube livery before, but I did one yesterday or the day before, and here it is. I apologise that when we're in the car, our visibility of the livery that I'm in is very limited. Note that a polyphony, in GT7 you could bring back the rotating camera whilst in a room. That would be fantastic. I'm sure there's reasons why they didn't do it in Gran Turismo Sport, but it was a fun thing to be able to look at your own car when you're out in a room like this. Of course you can do it in preview and in other ways, but yeah. So this car is brand new. I shared it only, I'm sure it was yesterday or the day before. I really like the design. I like it because it's striking with the colour palette, and it's also quite a, well, it wasn't that simple to do, but it actually has a simple and clean look. But anyway, we'll see what the judge has to say about it in a minute. So I didn't really do a drive-by then, but I'll wait for the judge to go past me, then I'll back out and I'll do a drive past. Plunks, as you can see, another quality livery there. It's funny when you come into car shows, there's lots of people that you get to know because they're regulars, and you know, you begin to admire their work, you begin to see and understand their design style and what things they like and what colours they like to put together, and you know, just the basis of their creativity. And it's really handy to see that. And then you see, like, there's a classic example to my right there. Mega Player is in what's the brand central standard GR3 livery, and you know, any of us could have just grabbed that out of our garage or gone into the game and bought it into the room. So whilst it's not an ugly livery, there's no real point to showing it. Anyway, so I'm going to back out. Hopefully the judge is, oh no, the judge is coming, I better wait. And I'm just going to go for a drive past, and I'll change the camera view so you get to see them all. So you'll see Plunks' livery, as I said, quite detailed, very well constructed. Then you've got a guy that's done very little but has put the flared guard look around his car, which again, I'd wonder if that's his actual livery based on the quality of the liveries of his I have seen. That stuff's not always easy to get right. Then you have this sort of livery where people are just doing basic accents and leaving the car clean. You know, again, interesting. Well, I'm a bit disappointed with third. This one appears to have just a couple of wraps on the side of it, otherwise pretty basic. Yeah, okay, Plunk's had a good livery. I understand that him getting the win there. Yeah, that's an interesting one as well. Surprisingly, so far tonight we haven't really seen anime in the room, but I'm sure we will if I stay in here long enough. I've shared my view on anime before. For those of you watching the broadcast for the first time, I'll give you my rationale for anime. I am still yet to be shown what the connection is between anime and cars. And for me, anime belongs either on the TV screen or in a comic book, and definitely not on cars. And I'm yet to also see a car where anime on the livery actually makes the car look nicer. And effectively that's what you're trying to do when you're creating a car livery. You're trying to make the car look nicer. You're not trying to show somebody how you can stick all different things on a car, because the game makes that very easy for you to do. You know, you can go and make your own decal for the most outrageous or silly or inappropriate thing, without being offensive, and stick it on your car. It's not hard. But the idea is that you're enhancing the look of the car. You're highlighting, attributes of the car's design and the look, and curves and surface changes and things like that. And so when you start sticking anime on it, all you do is hide those things. Okay, so it's Italian. Might bring out something new maybe. Oops, go to country. I feel like bringing something that I haven't bought out for a while. I might bring out eeny, meeny, miny, mo, better not take too long. Let's bring out the Caltex Hurricane. Bit of a favourite of mine. I'm not expecting that it may not rate, considering what other cars might be out here. The other thing that you find in car shows too, and this again is a reflection on the experience of the people that are in here, if they're new to making their own liveries, or if they're downloaders, and that downloaders are people that don't make their own liveries. They download the liveries of a creator, and they come into a car show and bring out those cars and then take the credit for winning or placing when they didn't actually do anything. It's not their car and they didn't make it. But what you often see happen with the judges when they're relatively inexperienced or downloaders is they don't actually have an appreciation of what's involved in making a livery. And what I mean by that is they don't understand the techniques or the difficulties or the challenges around making some of the, if you like, the looks or styles of the cars appear the way they do. As you can see, you're not dealing with a flat piece of paper when you're creating a livery, and you have to make all of your lines and shapes fit and work and be congruent around the design. And that's not easy to do, and it takes time. I could bring out a really old livery and we'd all have a laugh and go, wow, that's where you started. And the reality is, because it's a new way of doing things and a new tool, and you come into groups with it, usually your first designs are exactly that. But after you do more and more and more, you develop the skills and the techniques, and you understand how to manipulate the shapes and use all the tools in the editor to produce higher quality liveries. Yeah, look at that to my left, classic example. Well, I do not understand why somebody would bring that car out for a livery car show. Anyway, so yeah, and so the judges, if they're inexperienced, they won't have an appreciation. And what they also tend to do is they tend to not judge based on the livery, but rather judge based on which cars they like. So you can often see a very, very poor livery winning because it happens to be on a car that the judge likes. Personal preference for an actual car will override the judge's ability to determine which livery has been the best crafted and which livery best suits the particular car that it's on. And they're probably the two big criteria that you're looking at. You're looking at, okay, what's involved in that livery design? How hard was it to do? does it look nice, and does it really complement the car that it's on? And that's how you should be judging liveries. But often you see people just picking a livery because, and it happened probably 2 or 3 rounds ago, the judge was in a Mazda RX-7 Re-Mamiya car, and there was probably 4 cars better than the car that won, but the car that won was also in a Re-Mamiya itself. And look, you know, there you go, Plunks has given me second, which I'm fine with. I think Blue Moon is by Posty is very nice. It's very unique. It suits the car. So why wouldn't you give it to him? You know, if you can create an appealing livery, then it doesn't matter what car it's on. You know, it deserves to win. Just because that's an old car, a 1950s car, and I'm in a modern supercar, that doesn't mean that I should win. You know, it should really come down to that criteria that I said before. You know, quality of the livery design, overall appeal to look at it, and suitability for the car. And in that respect, there's nothing wrong with that decision that Blunk's made. And it's a good decision. You know, decision based on merit, and that's what you want. I get very annoyed when I'm in rooms and the judges don't know what they're talking about. Pick clear paint, pick cars based on what they like, and then when you make a comment that, you know what, there were 3 or 4 other cars in the lineup were better than that, they get all upset and they don't realise that they're not actually judging impartially or on merit. What you saw just then with Plunks is exactly what should happen. Judge on the merit of the livery, not on whether you like Lamborghinis or Ferraris or Porsches or Mercedes. Look at the livery, look how it enhances the car. Anyway, so now we're going to move to GR1, and GR1 is the top level racing performance car category. Well, I'll say car category in the game because there are Formula 1 cars and there are cars that are faster, that are futuristic cars, but as an actual racing category where there's effectively enough different types to create a field of varied brands, GR1 is the pinnacle in the game. Formula 1, you only have the choice of, in modern Formula 1 anyway, you only have the choice of the 2 Mercedes cars, same car, just different livery. GR1. I have a few, not a lot, but I have a few. I might bring out the ghost car. Oh no, actually, you know what? Bring out the monster car, or the nonster car to be accurate. If you haven't seen my broadcast before, I have a certain, I would say, disdain or contempt, but what I think is that, you know, brands like Monster, Red Bull, Martini, there's probably 2 or 3 others that are, so many people do them, and I understand why somebody might do one. Unfortunately, the aggregate result of that is that you see them all the time and you kind of yawn when you see them. But so for me, for this one, I not many people here. I decided to create it as a nonster as opposed to a monster. So I am, you know, if you like, giving reference or deference to the Monster brand, but I'm kind of trying to make it original. Where is everyone? Well, people are here, but no one's coming out. So I don't know. Maybe the room's gone funny and I'm sort of in the middle of nowhere here. You would think that everybody else would be coming out, but nobody is. The game could be glitching on me and it hasn't yet actually done the full thing in terms of the glitch, which is most likely to throw me out of the room. But I don't. Well, they're judging, so I think the room is definitely glitchy because they're judging the cars and nobody's there. So I have a suspicion that I am in the middle of a glitch because they're not seeing me. Well, I'm not seeing them, I should say, and I'm probably driving into them all. And so that will probably be the end of the broadcast because I'm probably going to have to leave the room, and that'll blue screen the broadcast, and I'm sure you people who are watching or who are listening don't want to see a blue screen. So I might end the broadcast. I never intended it for it to be a long one, but I just wanted to make a couple of points whilst we're in a car show and observe some of the cars to, I guess, give context to the points that I wanted to make. Look, thank you very much for watching this broadcast. I welcome any new subscribers. I have a fledgling group of subscribers. I don't do a lot of broadcasts, but if I had more subscribers I'd probably do more, and I'd be more than open to people suggesting topics. Predominantly I cover topics around gtsport and Minecraft, but I'm happy to expand into other topics. But yeah, just let me know what things you're interested in watching, and I'll be happy to try and bring those things to you. But for now, I'll end this broadcast, and thank you very much for watching and supporting IFLOWBOY and Warped Drive. And I hope you have a nice day, afternoon or evening wherever you are, and I hope you continue to stay COVID safe and be kind to everybody around you. Enjoy the rest of your day. Take care now. Bye bye.